Okay guys, Alec, Peirce at the ranch again, a little bit more on our airtight wood stove, our zero clearance airtight wood stove. That's what it's called anyway. You've already seen some videos. Today I'm working on the doors. This is the last little bit. My wife has been bugging me to get these darn doors done, because this is the last thing we have to do before we start a fire. It's starting to get a little chilly, you know, the temperature's down in the 40s and 50s, and we'll pretty soon see snow. It's 1st November. And so I got to get these doors done. What do you mean doors done? Well, they should be clean. First of all, you can see here's one of the doors. You can see that the gold. This is actual gold plating, true actual gold plating on the outside. I'm not sure why you paid extra for that, but it looks nice. You got to be careful of that and not use cleaners on it. But the glass needs to be clean. And most importantly, since it's an airtight, no air goes into the stove from the house. There's an outside. We've discussed this. There's an outside air vent that feeds the fire, and then there's a chimney that exhausts the smoke. No actual air for the fire comes from the house. And then as it heats up, there's a fan that blows the hot air, the hot box into the house. Anyway, you've seen all that. So the point is, it's an airtight. So these doors, when they close, are airtight. They can't be leaking air, no air going in. How do they do that? Well, they use a gasket. You can see here the gasket. They use it's probably asbestos. Or fiberglass, something like that is heat resistant, and that goes all the way around the door. So when this door is closed against the front of the wood stove, it seals. Ours is a little bit more complicated than some, because it's a double door. So one door closes and the other door closes over top of it, and there has to be another seal down the middle. I'm going to show you that shortly. But this is the same on almost all stoves. Almost all airtight wood stoves, yours as well, will have this gasket. And you need to renew it once in a while. First of all, it starts to break down and it crumbles and falls apart. And secondly, it gets very squashed, so it starts to leak. I'm going to show you in the next video how to actually adjust your doors, how to check for leaks through the door, and how to adjust them. But here I've got to clean this up. Now, it's easy to get this out of here. You literally just pull it up. Now, you see there? It's supposed to be a solid piece of rope, and it's broken already. So I can see that this one is deteriorated pretty badly. So you got to pull this out of there. That's easy. That's step one. However, if you take a look here, I don't know, can you zoom in on this a little bit? Can you zoom in there? You see there's a bunch of material in here that is stuck in the groove. It all has to come out, because there's a special silicone sealant that you get with that cord. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. That holds it in place. But all this old stuff has to come out, and that's the hard work. So now I've got the drill, and I've got a variety of wire wheels and brushes and scrapers. So now I simply have to go to work and get that groove completely clean. That's good enough. Okay, so I've got it all clean. If you take a look in here, you can see now that that groove is nice and shiny. They appear to have gold plated the back of this. I don't know if I noticed that before or not. I'm not sure why. I mean, I paid for that. But anyway, I guess they gold plated. They dipped the whole thing. Anyway, it's all nice and clean around there now. I'll make sure it is. And then I'm going to give it a wipe with alcohol. Take off any possible grease or oil. I don't think there is any, but take it off anyway. Because then we're going to replace the gasket. Now you can buy gasket material. This is an old, just a short piece left over from the last time that I bought gasket material. And this is gasket material as well, same type of stuff. They come in about 4 different sizes. Get the right size. Don't know the exact size. Looks like it's 1/2 inch at least, if not 3/4. And you can buy this at different lengths at most hardware stores, Ace Hardware, probably Harbor Freight, and certainly TFC. You can buy gasket material. For this particular door, because it has the 2 doors, there's 2 different thicknesses. There is the thick, let's call it 3/4 inch, that goes around the outside. Then there's the thinner piece, looks like 1/4 inch, that goes down the middle. You can buy this stuff in different lengths, cut it to fit. In this particular case, what I did this time is I actually bought a proper kit from the manufacturer. This is the manufacturer's kit. It comes with its own glue down in here somewhere. Let me dump it out. Its own glue is down in here. Yeah, silicone, high temperature silicone 302 Newflex. Okay, that's what the manufacturer recommends. You really can't go wrong with that. instructions, of course, in Chinese. No. This is actually made right here in Canada. So instructions on how to do it properly. If you haven't done it before, it's still good to read it. So I decided to buy this for a simple reason. This comes in the right length. So they have made this to fit. They've actually turned the ends in, so the nice neat ends. So when you start at the end, that goes right there, and you fit it all the way around. You fit it first before you glue it. Make sure it's the right size, because you have to split this. There's 2 doors. But the beauty of buying it from them, it's the right length. So they say in the instructions, it's the right length for the doors. So you see it opens and it stretches and opens. So using this one, if you get it in there, all of it in there, it's the right length. It's not stretched tightly and it's not pushed together, so it's fatter than normal. So I decided for the few extra dollars to get the manufacturer's kit. But you can buy that material if there isn't a manufacturer's kit, or you don't want to do that, or you have a single door. Buy the material like this, and then you can get glue, gasket glue, high temperature gasket glue. And here's another one here, Imperial gasket cement, high temperature. So you can buy all that yourself and put it in. We're not going to do that. I'm going to use the manufacturer's set. So now, quite frankly, the following is really very simple. All you do is you put a nice bead of the silicone around in that groove. And then you take the gasket and you set the gasket near the silicone, get it all the way around so it fits where it's been cut. You got the right amount in there, and once you've got the right amount in there and the ends are not sticking out, they're the right spot, then push it down in. That's basically all there is to it. You push it down into the groove. When you get that finished, you reinstall the doors, put them back on the stove, because when you close them, it's the right pressure, and it holds that gasket in place while the silicone sets. And that doesn't take too long. Overnight's more than enough. And you're all set to go. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Clean the groove with alcohol, and then cut this to the right length. I have both doors, getting them both ready to go, and get the silicone in there. And I'll show you the results in just a few minutes. Okay, guys, so here we are. I cleaned the groove thoroughly with the wire brush, and then washed it out with alcohol, blew it dry, so the groove is clean. And now I put in using the silicone sealant that they supply. It's orange silicone, high temperature sealant, probably gasket shellac, but whatever, gasket cement, whatever. I put a 1/4 inch bead. They say a 1/4 inch bead all the way around. You can see it in there, the orange bead in there. Now what we did, because these gaskets for this manufacturer's gasket for this stove were the right length, to be sure that it all fits without a lot of grooves, I had Diana hold one end, start there, and I started here, and we just carefully pushed it around the groove all the way around. And when it was all the way in with no kinks and no stretches, then we simply pressed it firmly into the groove. So this is the finished product here. You notice I put a little blob of silicone sealant on the very end of the gaskets, where the end, because I've noticed in the past that sometimes those gaskets unravel a little bit and they look like this. You see, I didn't want that to happen, so I tucked the edges in and then put a blob of silicone on it. So there we go. So we need to get this gasket into this door, and then there's a small thin one that goes down the middle, and this, it's not a hard job, it's just a little bit messy, and a bit of a dirty job. It's done. And then we install the doors, close them for 24 hours. And that puts the pressure on the gasket, allows the silicone to seal, and we'll should be all set for our first fire. And then as soon as we get our first fire going, I'm going to do a short video that shows you how to detect leaks, how to find leaks in the door, air leaks in the doors, and how to eliminate them. Okay, see you soon.